Hello guys, and welcome to another experience video. As you all know, about a week ago we got a patch that buffed even more media areas to give more experience and have mobs that die faster, and including those areas it was also Elric Shrine. So today we are going to be discussing about what is the new experience that you can make per hour if you decide to grind Elric Shrine, even if you are a high level player that should obviously go to Valencia or Pirates. So in my case I've done the tests on my level 60 wizard, which obviously has way over the AP cap for this area, and also since it's level 60 it has all the flows and all the skills leveled up. So compared to a normal level 54 to 56 player, which is the normal level people usually go to grind here, I would be grinding way faster. But still, since I've done all of my previous tests on a wizard, this way I can at least get some value that is comparable to my previous experience videos. So my main point for this video is to see if the experience at Elric Shrine at level 60 is at least somewhat comparable to Pirates and Sausans ratios, because it did get buffed just like Sausans did in the past, and I kind of expect to get a value that is somewhat close to the new Sausans experience values. So for those who don't know yet how I'm performing these tests, basically I'm just picking up a rotation and I try to grind it as fast as I possibly can for an exact amount of time. So I'm only letting my pets loot from the ground, and I myself am focusing on getting as much experience as I possibly can for that certain area. When I first arrived here, I only knew of one rotation, and that's the one on the Canyon of Corruption. So I immediately started to test that one, and as soon as I was done I started to look for more rotations, because I usually cover 2 or 3 or even 4 depending on how large a certain area is. But unfortunately for this video I'm only going to be talking about the one rotation on the Canyon of Corruption, because I tried to find more rotations but any other spot, including the ones around the Elric Shrine castle, are simply way too small. So rotations simply don't have enough mobs for me to complete the full circle once and have the mobs respawn in time when I'm back to the beginning. So as a result the experience would be way lower for any other rotation, and it would make my grinding a pain because no one actually wants to grind a spot that doesn't have enough mobs. But even so, I believe that most people who would come to grind the Elric Shrine, they will immediately go to the Canyon of Corruption rotation and not even bother to try the other ones. Now let's start talking about the numbers. So for this Canyon of Corruption rotation, the first run or test that I did was of exactly 2 minutes, and that's because I did the normal rotation once, and after exactly 2 minutes I was back to the beginning and the mobs were not respawned in time. So I just stopped the test, and the only reason why I kept it is because it has about the same values as the other test that I did after this one. So the result of that test was about 0.0045% experience per minute if all of the experience is reduced back to 100%. So let's now move on to the next tests, which include this exact rotation but extended a little bit. So after I saw that I couldn't test this rotation properly, I decided to add some more groups that were laying around this rotation. So there are a few that are separate basically on the left and right sides. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but I added all of those groups and then I made a bigger rotation to test further. And you can see that if you're looking on the video footage on the background, because that was recorded at the same time of the test. So to move on to those extended rotation tests, I did a total of 3 more runs of 10 minutes each. So if I make an average out of those 3 runs and I reduce all of the experience back to 100% ratio, then I got somewhere around 0.0046% experience per minute. And that's of course including the first test that I did of only 2 minutes. So with this all in mind, let's now move on to draw some form of conclusion for this video. So is the experience here after the patch good or is it bad? Well, in my opinion, after performing this test, it is actually pretty bad, because if you take this Elric Shrine area and you compare it to Sausans, they are pretty much at the same level, and people usually grind these two areas around the same levels. So as soon as you are able to move on to Sausans, I would simply suggest you to go there, because the experience gap between Elric Shrine and Sausans is way too big to justify grinding here purely for experience. If you are low level, like for example 54, then probably this area is better because you're going to be able to grind solo, where at Sausans it's very contested. But if you want to grind at higher levels like 59 or 60, then Sausans or Pirates is the way to go, because the experience is way higher and at least there you have a chance to get a party. On the day of the patch, I was actually quite hyped to go test all the new Mediah areas, because I was really expecting to get some values similar to Sausans. But it is a real disappointment that the experience is so low, even though all of these areas are supposedly getting buffed. So I didn't exactly test them before the patch, but if these are the new values, then I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be going still to Sausans, because they didn't exactly buff these areas enough to make them worth grinding. In the end, these are the values that I got, so if you want to compare them with my previous experience videos, you can do so and get a much bigger picture, but at this point I'm pretty much done with the video. If you want to add up something or continue this conversation, then just leave a comment down below and we can discuss about this further. I know I've done quite a lot of experience videos lately, so that's why I want to point out now that this is probably going to be the last experience video for a while, because after getting these values I'm not exactly interested in testing any more Mediah locations, because I'm pretty sure Helms or Rogues are not going to get any higher experience values. And also I want to focus on other topics like money, income, or simply something else. So this is going to be the last experience video that I'm going to be doing until some other patch or other locations get released. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I hope to see you next time.